Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
Welcome to Squad Games, episode 100. Gee, did you ever think we would get to this point? Especially after year one, we only put out 26 episodes in year one.
Realistically, no. I didn't think this far into the future. I thought we were just kind of making a podcast to sell Lester's Workshop products. And we made it here.
Yeah, we tried that, and then laser fires happened. And then, it became way more than that. So exciting.
Yeah, thank you, community. This one's for you guys. Mm-hmm. You made it possible. You got us to 100.
So we have on the podcast today Jimmy and Saya. Saya is our third. She doesn't come on the podcast nearly enough, but we have her here today. And then we have Jimmy, as he won our most recent golden ticket, and also Jimmy's a good friend of the podcast. So
yeah,
yay! Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
Yeah. So
also, we do have real quick question from the community that I'm supposed to pass along. A certain Chris Baki wants to know, why am I your favorite, and why do you hate him so much?
Well, it's funny because when Sai was going to leave today, I was going to ask Chris to come on and talk with you, Jimmy, and Chris said he wasn't available. So availability really equals favoritism, right? So Chris, get good, my guy.
Oh yeah. We all wish he could get good.
Speaking of getting good, congratulations on your recent golden ticket winning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that clapping noise definitely didn't sound like clapping.
Who made that noise?
Giacomo was not clapping that.
Clapping cheeks.
Because it wasn't like a stereotypical,
an awkward rhythm for sure, awkward rhythm.
Yeah, he was going ham. Now we all know too much about G.
I'm not even gonna cut that out.
Well, when I'm on the podcast, a lot does tend to get cut out. So
you're not wrong.
He is right. I do a lot of editing when he's on this episode.
Beforehand, Giacomo and I were talking, and we came to the conclusion of all the guests, I do require the most work out of him. Because after we're done, he's like, "Oh God damn it! I have to cut so much shit." He has to go through that's racist, that's offensive. What do you say about a whole continent? Oh damn it! No, we have to cut that out. And so he's just trying to make the best of all the drunken nonsense I say. So it just makes sense. So
are you drinking right now?
Yeah, I was gonna say the reason why I'm not on the podcast a lot is because these are filmed pretty late at night, and it's noon, Jimmy. Jeez,
getting called out, Jimmy. Jeez, man.
I'm sorry. Goodness, and also I plead the fifth. I don't know if I've been drinking yet. There's a can and a koozie. I can't see what that can is, so who knows what it could be. Soda. I don't know, but. I'm enjoying beverage. Do you want me to be dehydrated, Giacomo? What do you want from me? I have to drink some fluids.
Sure.
So
you could drink
if
water.
I take a break to replenish, that's when you got to worry, because that's when it's going to get good.
That's fair. That is fair. And also, Saya is always taking care of the kiddo. So it's the other reason why we can't have her on as much as we would like. So today, Games Workshop on our 100th episode has given us so much content that we won't be able to go through all of it at all. So this is actually going to have to be split into 2 episodes eventually, because I think we've tried to do this in the past where a new team releases and then we try to do a full episode on both teams, and it has to be split into 2. And then also an FAQ dropped. So there's just a lot of shit to talk this week with Kill Team.
Yeah,
so
just jamming shit up our ass.
Yep. Just like a brood guard,
the brood. Are they brood brothers? What's the team called?
Should we insert Giacomo clapping here again?
So before we dive into the kill team, I did want to say, does anyone have any? I will start off. I heard a really Giga Chad story this weekend for you Gen Zers and anyone else. You'll get what Giga Chad means by the end of this story. And if any of you have one to follow up, feel free. Otherwise, we're just going with one Giga Chad story this week. There is a commission painter that we know. He had this problem customer, and this customer was hounding him for his painting scheme or his painting models, blah, 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 blah. But eventually, the guy said he was trying to finish all the models, and the guy came up and said, "Hey, if this takes any longer, I'm just not going to pay you." And he said, "Okay, we can meet tomorrow." And the guy was like, "Cool." And he then commenced, because it pissed him off so much, he then commenced to take all of the painted models, strip all of the models, all of them, strip them all completely back down to pure plastic. Met the guy, gave him back all of his models completely unpainted. And he was like, these aren't painted. Like, what? And he's like, yeah, I don't want your money. You can take it back. Pretty Giga Chad. I've never seen a commission artist be like.
How many did he paint before that moment?
It was a full 2,000 point army.
I know, but how many of them were actually painted?
I think he was 75% done.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
Of fully done. And the other guy was just too impatient and super annoying. So, yeah, apparently.
To be fair, if you say something like that, there's a chance that he's not going to pay you at all. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Right. And that's not how that works.
Yeah. I did the work, so you have to pay. And there's some other issues that led up to some of that. But, or I guess those happened afterwards. But, yeah, pretty Giga Chad, I must say. Pretty Giga Chad. What a commission painter that guy is.
I don't know if I have
earned my
balls to
respect
do something like that.
Dude, I just want to do that now, Just get a commission army, almost finish it, just have one model left, wait for them to tell me that they're not going to do it, strip them all and then ship them to them and just be like, yeah, take your money. I don't need it.
When I heard that story, I was wondering, like, was that Dakotah?
I know.
Like
Part of me was like, did this happen to us?
Yeah, Dakotah's like, I'm going to burn this mother to the ground. Like, yeah, absolutely.
No,
like,
the person in question has been known to do a lot of this kind of things. This isn't his first time. Not just stripping models, but things similar to this. I'd say he's like 6'4" and 6 feet of that is balls.
There you go.
Again, are you describing Dakotah? I'm so confused here.
Yeah. It still sounds like Dakotah, yeah. By the way,
With that much balls, you're going to have to get tested for testicular cancer,
Yeah. So it actually also sounds like my father-in-law. It's not kill team related, but very similar story. He's a master builder and does construction stuff. He built a whole concrete patio around a pool for a business owner locally. So he did this whole job. Like, concrete's a big thing. It's a pain. He did stamped concrete around this guy's pool.
Oh, wow.
Got it all approved. Big job. He's out there with a few guys. I mean, I can't even imagine this is, if you did this today, this was 15 years ago or so, but it'd be a $15,000, $20,000 job, huge. Anyways, he was done. And then the guy comes out and he's like, I don't know if I like this stamp. Now there wasn't negotiations. There wasn't hey, what can we do about the price? He just came out. He's like, I don't really like this. Now, I don't know if you know about stamped concrete, but once it's done, it's kind of set. It's like stone. You ain't gonna do nothing with it. So my father-in-law was like, got it. Came out the next day with jackhammers, tore out the entire pad, hauled it off. Nope, just done. Didn't ask for a penny, just tore the whole thing out. And I feel like that's the construction equivalent of stripping the models.
Oh yeah,
he told me that, and I just felt I almost threw up. I'm like, what? I can't even imagine all that work. Same thing with the painting. I would never be strong enough to do that, and I know you would, Dakotah. I could never put that much effort and time, and then be like, let's just pretend I did none of this.
Ugh. I have gotten that angry before. I don't like to get angry, but I have. Saya can tell you, I've been angry before. She's seen most of my anger.
Very, very rarely get super mad. I think I have the majority of the anger in our relationship.
She is the anger.
Yeah, just like Broodguard make me fucking angry. But
hey, don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, let's
Moral of the story is don't
so
make
we
the
can
code
sell
map.
more Broodguard. You know, fuck. Sorry. So we're gonna not touch that until a little bit later. Yeah. So today we're going to celebrate this episode. If anyone's been listening to us for a long time or the entire time, I would really like to give a shout out to you. Thank you for going on this journey with us and making this like a reality. We originally started this because not for the viewership, not for any of that kind of stuff. We just like to talk about Kill Team. We like to talk about hobby stuff. We like to talk about events, strategies, and me and G talk so fucking much. If you listen to the Kill Team Cascadia one, people were asking like, hey, how often do you usually spend on Kill Team per week? And I originally said a minimum 40 hours. And then like, since then, I think I've like, I think we recorded on Thursday and Sunday. I've probably put in like 35, 40 hours worth of Kill Team in just like 4 or 5 days. Right. And I worked for a full one of those days. So like, this is like something that we just like to do. And we just want to, share a little bit of that with the community and with you guys, because we're going to do it anyways. So, but I also want to congratulate Saya and Giacomo. Without you two, like Squad Games would not be here. You guys have definitely been the backbone behind this. And I know sometimes I get a lot of claps at events, and I wish people would, be more recognizing towards the two of you. Just because I talk the most, because I'm the most chatty Cathy, doesn't mean that I do most of the work. So I want to thank you both for being there and being part of the reason why we continue to do Squad Games.
You do talk a lot.
Thank you.
I do talk a lot.
And from the outside, thank you so much from the community. So you guys are amazing. We definitely appreciate what you do. And I think I speak for all of us because I am your favorite. So I'm pretty sure that gives me the authority to speak for the whole community. So
Yep.
Giacomo,
You're the
Dakotah, and
union rep.
Saya, thank you so much for your commitment to making the community better. Appreciate it.
Honestly, this is a really good group of people, so it makes it all worth it too. So really thank you guys.
I mean,
for not
LVO
being
wouldn't.
Warhammer players.
Yeah.
Yeah, LVO wouldn't be what it is without the community all coming together and playing in one event, right? And like LVO is such a special one because people come from all over the world. And then we're trying to expand that to, other games. The more competitive and the bigger and the more popular this game gets, the bigger every event, every well-run event is going to be. Like the All Valley Team Tournament, hopefully like the West Coast Championship, like our birthday is coming up on the 15th, and that's the MidSummer Mayhem. I put in for a golden ticket. We'll see if we get it. We went from 3 tickets sold to 31 tickets in 3 days. So
This one has a cutoff though, correct? Because the store can only hold.
It was 32, but I was able to talk to Anthony, and they're very gracious to give us the rest of the store.
Are we going to set up a table in the bathroom?
Yep.
And outside. No, just kidding. So it's going to be a little tight, but it should be a lot of fun. They've opened it up to 42 tickets now. So they gave us 10 more, which is 5 extra tables. And, we're really looking forward to selling out the second year in a row. The very first year, actually, getting into it. This is before we knew Jimmy. We ran our very first Kill Team event. Let me see if I can actually pull up the players who actually showed up to that event, because it'll be really cool if the majority of them could come back. But we only had, I think, 7 players, and that's including Giacomo and Saya.
Yep.
And then I had to play to be
No,
8th.
I was the 8th player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Organized.
So it was 8 2 years ago.
Yeah, our very first tournament was at
It would be
Green
3
Towers.
years. 3 years fully.
Yeah, no,
No, 2 years.
Right?
it would
2
be
years?
This is
two.
the
We're
third-
going into our birthday tournament will be marking the beginning of year 3. So it had been
Correct.
2 solid years ago at Green Towers, our very first tournament ever. We had 7 players show up. I played. So 2 of the players were Giacomo and I,
And me. So I have it right here. We had Alan Herrera come out. We had Alan Crone, Anthony Martin, me, Emmanuel, Giacomo, James Robinson, and Saya. And
Yes.
James Robinson won the whole thing with Death Guard.
Yes, he did.
I would have guessed.
That was what Phobos had just come out. Phobos and Blooded.
Yep.
Yep.
Phobos just came out. It's Giacomo, you played, like, they came out like the week before. We made them legal because why not?
And no one but me took them, and I lost so hard with them.
Yeah. It was exciting.
That's wonderful.
So you went from 8 to 24 last year, right? So now we're
Yeah.
already at 31.
well, we
and
had
we-
to be fair, we did have to cut 24 because we were trying to like honor Green Towers because that's where we first started, and they couldn't take more than 24.
Yeah, and Green Tower Games also did not let us know that the very first year we actually split the space. We were supposed to have the whole place because we thought we were going to get more players. I think the week before we had 14 players show up to like a random play day. So I thought we were going to get more, and then luckily we didn't because they split the play place with Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Oh yeah, that got
Yep.
really sweaty. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they let either TO know because they were also running a tournament, but they didn't let either TO know that we were both going to be there. So everybody was super pissed off that the other group of people were there because everybody just felt entitled to the space.
Hmm. And luckily, both of us could fit, right? Because it would have been a
yeah.
disaster if one couldn't. And then year 2, I made sure that we had the space just to ourselves, and we had 24 players, but they didn't tell us the AC did not work.
Yep.
So it was a midsummer mess.
I didn't mind at all, actually.
What was funny
Yeah.
though is that the beginning everybody's happy because we filmed a lot of the second year, so everybody's happy. They look great, healthy. By the end of it, we were doing like the end interviews. Everybody's so sweaty; their clothes are sticking to them. It was pretty funny. I remember editing the video and being like, "Wow, this looks sticky."
Yeah, very
And-
very nuts to butts.
And then
That's so funny. Okay, so
And then Jimmy, you won that one. I think you and Rob tied at the very end.
we did. We tied, and so but I still got the win overall, and I think Rob got second, right?
Rob did get second, and then James Robinson took third.
Yeah. That was a great event. And
Mhm.
I'm just now realizing, I think one of the secret weapons I had, just for some personal information, I had a weight loss surgery December of the year prior. And one of the things that comes along with that is you're just always kind of cold.
Okay.
When you eat way less food than you need to eat, your body metabolism lowers and your body temperature lowers. So I remember everyone being like, at the end, after it was over, a lot of people complained about how hot it was and they're sweating. I was like, oh, it was hot? I had no idea. Like I was comfortable the entire time. So I had a secret weapon. I cheated. So I was totally comfortable the entire time. I was like, oh, I guess it's uncomfortable. And everyone's like, we almost died. I'm like, well, I had a great time.
It was pretty. I would say the last game and a half, it was pretty miserable, and I was like, it was getting down to the point where I was like, are we all just going to become really familiar and start stripping? Like, I don't understand like how much hotter it could possibly get in this room.
I think I almost put a jacket on. I don't know. But at that point in time, I have always loved the cold, and hot like killed me. But during that period, I was definitely in this phase where it could never be too hot. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just avoided all the worst of it and didn't even notice. So
That's fair. Well, we just had 4 more signups, so now we're sitting at 34.
Oh,
Literally.
Amazing.
I think since we're at 34. I'm sure we're going to get there soon enough.
Good.
If we can get there faster, the better. I think we'll have a better shot at getting a golden ticket. So I'll probably post some stuff today. We're recording on Sunday, so I'll probably post some stuff and try and get couple more players to come out.
Yeah, so if you're in SoCal and you're looking for something to do the next weekend, that
June 15th.
June 15th, feel free to come to MidSummer Mayhem. Say hello. It's a 4-round tournament. Have a good time. Meet some new people.
I think outside of in SoCal, outside of the West Coast Championship, I think this is our largest event already at 34, right?
Wow.
As I don't think that any of the SoCals, maybe SoCal beat it. And and then Bay Area Open just had 35. So, okay. Well, that's fair.
We will have AC for this event, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. This
bring a sweater, Jimmy.
Yeah, bring a sweater.
I'll figure out a way. I'll find a way.
Loaded Dice
I
is
take off my clothes now, so it's fine.
Loaded Dice is super, super chill. They're a great store. They have a great online presence. And we do have an affiliate code with them. If you guys want to buy something online, we would get, I think, 5%. They are a very nice store. They're a local store. And they're right across the street from the All Valley Team Tournament. So this year, we'll have the All Valley Team Tournament. If people want to go pick up teams, they can go there. Also, if you pre-order...
for 100 players, though, at All Valley, correct?
Correct. We have to double check.
102.
We have to double check the space. We have to go do measurements and make sure that we can actually fit that many. Just to double check. Yeah, this store is right across the street. If you guys are going to the MidSummer Mayhem, you guys they did try to order 40 boxes of Kill Team Terminator, the fucking Gene
Terminator
Stealer
2 Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's the one. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. If you guys want to pick one up at the store, they'll probably all be gone by the time, because it shows that day, but I think the pre-orders at this store sell pretty quick.
They do.
This store sells Warhammer like Cheesecake Factory sells cheesecake, right? It flies off the shelves. So. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. And I think with the power of some of these teams, they're definitely going to sell. So if you guys want to help support the channel some more, you can go to Frontline Gaming and pick it up from there if they have any left. Or you can go here to this store. If not, go and pick them up at your local game store to try and support them so that we can keep all the local game stores open. So
yes, please.
Yeah. But Jimmy, we all ran into you at the same exact event. I don't think any of us enjoyed the event very much.
I won Best Painted a bunch, so I was cool with that. And the painting thing they did.
And then when Giacomo won his Best Painted, he gave me all of his winning tokens, and I bought dice with them. So I also enjoyed that.
I had a great time.
My favorite thing at that event was meeting all the people, because we were trying to expand squad games, and then we met Kel Team, which was very fortuitous for squad games, as they're quite a large team, quite a large competitive team.
Large competitive team.
That's very kind. I was going to say, I definitely enjoyed parts of that tournament.
Did you enjoy the terrain, or the fact that you could not climb heavy?
No,
did you enjoy that?
The actual tournament part was kind of ass, but
okay.
It's.
Did you enjoy the $50 parking, and when you got in, you couldn't find a spot?
There was a lot of fun stuff. I had to go through the fucking Spanish Inquisition just to get the tickets. They wanted a full rundown on vaccine records for me and all the kids. I was getting stuff text messaged over. It was after the peak of COVID, but it was still everyone that. At Strategicon,
we went to this event instead of Nova.
Yeah. And it was pitched as it's great. We're going to have a big West Coast event and you don't have to travel. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to go to a big event. that's also kind of like close. That'll be so fun to do. And you show up and it's like, I feel like I'm playing in someone's basement. Like,
we literally brought four. We brought 4 of the 14 people that showed up, and you brought 3 of the 14 people. Without us, there would have been 7 people at the event.
Yeah, between the 2 of us, we were half the event.
We brought Squid. Shout out to Squid.
Yeah, Squid.
Saya, G, and myself.
Yeah, so that event, I met you guys. I had my very first game with Rob, who we just mentioned I tied with at this event last year, the 24-person event last year. I had my first event with quite a few people.
I love Rob. Rob, the hobby Highlander.
Yeah. It was a fun match. That was one of the few I won that event. I played like dog crap. But I brought like Hunter Clave, and there was
you played like dog crap, but we still tied.
Yeah. Well, there were scramble piles all over, and I'm not used to playing with Scrabble pile. Like Scrabble, that's a word game, right? What are they? Like
that's one of Saya's favorite games, actually. Scrabble.
Yeah, I love Scrabble.
Oh, Scrabble's a fun game.
I suck at it.
Yeah, I see you circling back, Jimmy. I saw you backpedaling.
God damn, this is good. I'm drinking California Cali Creamin'.
I'll be honest with you.
Popov.
I had done, that was back when I was playing more competitively. And so that was a very interesting tournament. And I was very traumatized after the map layouts. And I think that really that really changed how we did map layouts. We wanted to make sure that they were all tested beforehand. We had very competitive people playing on them before we actually brought them to tournaments. And I don't know if a lot of people know that's something that we do, but that particular, I don't care if I'm going to cause issues with the TO of that, but
he's gone. He's long.
I know, but that particular tournament really was a traumatic. That it was all not feel good plays, and I mean, like, everybody was such a joy to play, but it was just like it was just a hard thing to work with.
There's a couple problems with that event, right? So at that event, it was very interesting. So if anyone knows Bieranid is a content creator way back in the day. And he always thought that the best, the most stable point of the game, this is before crit ops, was loot. No other thing. And I kind of agreed at the time. But I think like when we saw crit ops come out, it was probably the most balanced. But he thought loot was the most balanced. His TO was his BFF, and they used to run their podcast together until Emmanuel jumped on. Emmanuel and Sheldon took over. But it was Utsikal and Bieranid. And since they thought that loot was the best, right? We played on all the heavy terrain of Chalmeth, all the other boards, Nachman, Frontieris, and every single mission of the 6-round tournament was loot. And guess what? Pathfinders are great at loot, and that's what Bieranid was playing at the time. I think before he left Kill Team, he was thinking about moving to Breachers, but yeah, it was there was a couple issues in the tournament. The fact that it was only loot and we couldn't climb heavy terrain as a rule from the TO. We couldn't climb over the heavy Chalmeth walls or anything like that. You could only climb up to areas of vantage. So we really got trapped in deployment zones and stuff like that.
I know you say that, but I played Thousand Suns and it was before they were nerfed. And so loot was fun for me. I got to pick people up and throw them over.
Yeah, but you only have like 6 or 8 models. You don't have 14 models.
I know. Well, I also didn't play against Pathfinder. So, I mean...
Yeah, I played. It was actually one of my favorite games outside of Jimmy's game. I loved playing against Bieranid. It was a very fun time playing against a pretty good Pathfinder player, and me getting a couple cheeky shots off. I got a grenade launcher shot off turn 1 on like 6 operatives. Whiffed everything. It would have been game GG, but sometimes the dice are like, "Hey, you didn't pray to the Emperor today, did you?" No, I didn't. All right, bet. And then I played Jimmy, and I played all of his children, which was a lot of fun. So I played Zeke, and I played Jesh, and then I played Jimmy. I beat both of them, and then I couldn't beat Jimmy. We tied out at the end, and We went over time like an hour. Oh, it was exciting.
It was way over. But also it's because every single action, it was like, I'm going to take a move. Wait a minute. There's no way to move this rust stalker anywhere because frickin' scramble, I don't know. Like you can't fit. Like the board layouts were so poor. It was like my guys can't literally move. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, the board
board
layouts were
negative.
Was the first time we ever had smoke in games, like the little smokestacks and stuff.
Yeah.
And
some
I
of the
remember
smokes can't
Giacomo
be
using
turned
those
off.
to his hella advantage.
Hella advantage. Back when interceptors were like white.
I think that was the event that Denver and Squid played, the most epic game of Kill Team that we've ever seen in our lives. So Denver was on a 30-game loss streak. And this is our first time meeting Denver. Fucking love that guy. And Squid was also on a pretty big loss streak. In fact, I think Squid's really only won one game, I think in a previous tournament, or the game that he won could have been afterwards. And the fact that they're both still playing Kill Team and they don't win very often just speaks to their sportsmanship levels. And they both just love the game. And it's very funny because we were all stood around their table and they're both very quiet. So they're just playing. No one knew what was going on. We were all waiting for them to finish to see what would happen. To see who would break the loss streak, and then they tied. So
they
technically
did tie.
they both lost their it was so epic. It's so funny. It's such a good time. There's a lot of good things that came out of that event, even though we might not have liked the terrain or how the terrain was laid out.
I think it's good to focus on that. So we could spend a long time talking about certain players or certain, TOs, but when I think about that tournament, the only thing I think about now was I met you.
Absolutely.
And Rob and all these people in the LA area that I'd never met before that now I see on a regular basis. And I remember when the tournament was over, we had a long game. But then after that long game, we sat around and talked for so long. Your wife was like, I'm going to kill these two. This is too long of a conversation. But it was so great. I remember I was talking to you. You had told me you had just started running tournaments. I think you did 2 at the time. And you told me about this squad games thing you were doing.
Yeah.
And you were trying to you're in the works with trying to pair up with Frontline Gaming. And you had these thoughts and these plans. You were going to be this big TO. And you had all these plans. And I just knew, I was talking to you, I was like, this guy's going to do it. This guy's going to go places. And it was such a great conversation. And then now, just a little while ago, you held the biggest Kill Team tournament in the world. You are the main guy for Frontline Gaming. For Kill Team. And it's been pretty amazing to be part of that from this early level. Anyways, yeah, that whole tournament with all the negatives, I remember meeting you and that being a great experience. Because I remember before that game with you, I was done with it. I was the tournament was frustrating. I was frustrated with Kill Team. I was kind of in a low place and I was like, this isn't even fun to me. And I was like, why am I even doing this? And then I met some people that I really enjoyed. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. And it kind of re-brought some inspiration in my life. So my favorite part was meeting you guys.
I think that's always the best part of every tournament. Even if you go to a tournament and you dislike the terrain layouts or you dislike how the TO does some things or something like that. I've been to plenty of tournaments where I just disagree with certain things, right? That's why I run my own, is because I'm very opinionated on how events should be run, right? And some people, run them better than others, and that's okay. But the best part about tournaments, going to tournaments, if you guys have never been to a tournament and you always listen to this podcast, or if this is your first time listening, the best part is just meeting people in the community, meeting different people, and just playing the game of Kill Team, and if you focus on the positive, you can always shit on whatever's negative, right? but also the only people you're going to shit on an event with is people you had fun with, right? So you're like, man, I can't believe they ruled Felgors that they just don't ever die. What the fuck? That's never happened. But, would be exciting.
No,
but
yeah, it's I think if you go to tournaments and you focus too much on the winning, I remember when I first was aware of the game, like this competitive game. You want to think about how you can play, how you can win. You get excited by it. But when you actually start showing up, if your happiness or your joy is determined by if you win or lose, you're not going to make it long term. If your happiness or joy is determined by the experiences, the people you meet, the memories you make, you can have a great time. But
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's all about the people. So obviously, meeting you at that tournament was an amazing experience, and being able to be part of your journey to watch from these thoughts and ambitions to actual accomplishments has been amazing to be part of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first tournament that you came to of ours, I believe, was SoCal Open. And then the All Valley, you showed up like a week or 2 weeks later to do it. We'll go through like our numbers. So like if anyone's like just starting off as being a TO, right? I'll say where we started off on and where we've grown to. So like even if you start a tournament or you start your doing stuff, realize that growth and opportunity is there if you put the work in and you do the time and effort, right? And what we did for time and effort is we really spent a lot of time on like terrain layouts, making sure that we were doing it competitive and fair and not playing favoritism. Those are some of the big things that we have to do as TOs. And if you just show up to a tournament and you put in minimal effort, you will get minimal returns from people coming back. But if you make sure that people have an experience when they come to your events, your scene will grow. So where we first started was we had 8 players, including me, Saya, and Giacomo. So we only had 5 outside of our own. Our next tournament was in July. We had 10 players. August, we had 10 players. In September, and then we went to what's it called? We went to Strategicon and then met Jimmy, and they had 14. And I was like, dang, they had more than us. We have to beat them. Our next tournament, we had 12, which was in September. And then the very next event was SoCal Open, which Alex Squires won that with AdMech, and we had 19 players. And then the very next event, we had 42. And that was the All Valley Team Tournament, the very first one. So what we were doing from the beginning of June until then, we would go out every single week to different game stores, say we were coming, say we were going to be playing Kill Team. And we would say like, hey, we have this event, but if you guys could come to this event, this is the one that matters, right? And I think we did that for like 6 or 8 months. And we got a bunch of people to come to this one tournament because team events focus a little bit more on fun. You can go there to be competitive, right? But you can also go to this event to really, dude, I thought we had 38. I didn't realize we had 42. That's wild. Then we dropped all the way back down to 9, right? And then right after that, we had an 87 event at LVO, which was the largest in the world at the time. Next month, KTO tied us. And then I think Warhammer Fest beat us with 117. Next year, we went to 10. Then we had 23. Then we had 22. Then we had 14. Then the All Valley came back around. We had 55. And then SoCal Open, we had 34, which we're already tied with that for our anniversary this year, which is awesome. And then we had West Coast Championship of 13, and then LVO with 131. 131. So, and then we went back to 19, 26, 35, and now we're at 34 currently, hopefully looking to sell out here within the next couple of days.
Which
and
would
then
be pretty rocking.
And then the All Valley Team Tournament is in September. So that one's going to be hopefully super spicy.
So I think it'd be fun if we all shared our favorite squad game. It's 100th episode. Like, what if we shared our favorite memory from the squad games journey to this point? Okay. I have one ready to go, but I don't want to lead. So
I'll do an easy one.
Do you have a favorite memory from squad games?
Yeah, I have an easy one. This is one that nobody knows about except for Sheldon. I'm going to tell it right now. And he might not even remember.
I have some great Sheldon stories, FYI, but most of them are not fit for fucking podcasts. So
maybe for redacted.
He doesn't want me to out him. He don't like. So we're
Squad Games redacted. We'll bring Jimmy back, and we won't edit him whatsoever.
Yeah, if you want Sheldon stories, you got to pay money for that shit. So. All right, sorry, Giacomo, go ahead.
So I'm running the stream for the first time at LVO. I'm insanely nervous because I've never run it at this capacity.
It's your first time running the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
I just showed you how to do it. I was like, yo, this is what you do. These are the buttons you press, my guy. And you're like, cool.
Okay. And then we did it, right? We never done it before, like in real life. So I'm notorious for biting my nails. And apparently I have very strong nails because I had chipped a part of my tooth. And that's probably one of my favorite memories, just being so goddamn nervous that I chipped a tooth, biting my nails, making sure that this thing that worked. And I asked Sheldon, because he was next to me, he's like, does my tooth look chipped? And he had to really look closely and go like, oh, yeah, I can see it. And I go, oh, fuck. All right, well, it is what it is. If Henry Cavill can have a chipped tooth in the same spot that I do, I can do it, you know?
Hell yeah. Just adds to your attractiveness level,
there
my
you
guy.
Go.
Yeah.
Giacomo sacrificing his body for Squad Games.
Mm-hmm.
That's dedication right there.
It's absolutely.
Saya, do you have you have to have a favorite memory?
I'd have to say it was our first LVO as well. And it had actually nothing to do with me, but it was just me straight up watching Dakotah approach Duncan Rhodes, who just came in and he was filming something. And he had his assistant and his filmer there, and Dakotah was just like, I literally haven't you want to talk about, I guess this would be the big balls story, Dakotah. But he just walks up and just joins this guy's absolute stream and gets him to talk about what he's doing. And I always wanted to know what happened to that. Did they cut that, or what were they using that for? But he had no qualms about interrupting Duncan Rhodes, just being filmed for something and having a conversation with him. Was I standing with you, Giacomo, when that was happening?
We were at the table. We were both looking at him going
I know, we were both just what? But he also was my inspiration, where it's just I feel like nothing bothers Dakotah. Just nothing.
Yeah, if you guys have, if anyone's ever met me. Yeah, it's one thing that I've never really gotten starstruck by people. Like I said, the only two people that I'd ever get starstruck by are Mel Gibson and Gordon Ramsay, and that's it.
Yeah, but he wasn't even starstruck. He was doing something, Coda. He was right in the middle of filming something. You just walked up and joined him.
Yeah, and he wanted to talk to me. He was like, "Yo, dude, these are so cool, you know?" And I was like, "Thanks, man. I watch your channel. I've watched you grow from where you started Games Workshop to this, and and we just sat there and talked the shit for a while, and they just recorded us. They gave me a little audio thing, and it became a cool little interview. I wish that we could have had the audio at least from that or something like that, because it was super, super cool. And hopefully one of these days we'll be able to bring him on the podcast, or at least if he ever comes to LVO again, interview him on camera, because that would be super sick.
I do have another one, and it actually involves Jimmy and his group from last LVO when they walked in with their speakers and they're all dressed up. You know what I'm talking about? What song were you guys playing? Everybody in the room was 130 people turned to look at you walking.
Yeah, we were playing Sexy and I Know It.
Yeah, but it was just it was already so chaotic and it was so loud. But it was you guys walked in.
And everyone turned and was like, what the fuck is that?
But it wasn't just Kill Team. It was everybody in that room was what the fuck is going on? And you guys look like the biggest, smuggest assholes I've ever seen in my entire life.
And then you guys came in and posed and like the fucking GNU Force.
Oh,
and
it was just so, there was an awkward 3 seconds where everybody's what is just, but I love it because I always felt very uncomfortable when we went to the when we did that first Ootsicles tournament. We all wore our matching Squad Game shirts, and I was like, oh, I don't want it to be this is our turf and we're going to represent ourselves. But it's slowly been a thing where people now have little clubs, and now everybody wears matching outfits, and I just love this little I don't want to say it's hostility, but it's like these little like turf wars of like, who's better at Kill Team. And it's really grown into such a fun competitive thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I have
that was definitely fun. But by the way, going back to your first story, all in favor of changing the phrase "big dick energy" to "big Dakotah energy"? I think we should.
Big Dakotah.
Yeah,
I get it.
But yeah, those were fun stories though. Okay, Dakotah, go ahead. Sorry,
I have a couple stories. It's hard to label. It's hard to label one because I also have like. I can't say LVO 1 was my favorite because I had some bad interactions at that tournament.
Yeah.
I would say my first favorite was our very first All Valley team tournament and everyone having so much fun, even though that one also had some drama around it.
Yeah, but we put so much work into that, and that it's always something I always remember is just the amount of like cold calls we had to make and then meeting new players at stores. And I really feel like that one tournament really brought the Los Angeles like Kill Team players together because
my sales
so many people.
My sales strategy for that event was I would call stores, cold call stores, tell them about the All Valley team tournament, and if they could send a team, I would send them to Rain for their store. And I think we got about 10 stores to 7 stores to participate. So 21 of those 42 people came from stores. And we gave out like a lot of terrain to help the community grow in other areas. Cold calling is rather difficult, especially with people like, send us an email about it so I can tell my boss. And I'm like, I rather talk to your boss because emails get lost in the void too much, but that's besides the point. The ending photo with Will, he used to run Fly By Nights. We've had him on the podcast before. He took our photo over the balcony, and it was all 42 players at Gameology. A very special memory for me. Just everyone that had such a good time.
Didn't take that photo, Dakotah.
He was up there. He took photos. Yeah.
Yes, but it was Matt.
Alonzo?
No, Samoan Matt.
Oh,
that's his name on Discord. I'm not being an a-hole about that. His wife took that photo.
Oh, you're right. She did.
Yeah,
she did.
She did, and she's a cool person. And I'm slowly hoping that she will join Kill Team.
No, she definitely played in our all random event.
She's they are, and you talk about watching couples. I met Matt at Geeky Teas and we did a teaching game with him and to watch him slowly now win painting awards, it's so fun to like meet new players and like watch
and see them get married. Well, we didn't actually see them get married, but
no, but I'm just saying that it's just fun to see people just like slowly show interest and he's always been a phenomenal painter, but like, it's just cool to see teach me how to play this game. And of course it was orcs and I had my thing against orcs at that time. And I was like, ugh. But it's just fun to watch him like show interest and get his first game in and then slowly just become this phenomenal person in the community and like start winning awards. So it's like, but that's how it is for a lot of players. Like that's one thing that's been really cool about squad games in general.
So I have 2 others that are or 3 others. So LVO 2 had a lot of really good memories. We were able to bring in some good people, Troy, bring in some good energy. LVO 2 was great. There was like very few complaints. There was no drama. Had a really epic outcome. I think the only mistake I made was forcing Orion to play 5 streamed games in a row. Sorry, Orion. The Giga Chad himself didn't complain at all. He just wanted an energy drink for the last game. But at that event and kind of like the overall like award ceremony at the end and 100 people being there, like celebrating the pinnacle of Kill Team was one of my favorite memories. One of my other favorite memories about that event was Mike Cortez, a good friend of mine. He was down and out with Kill Team, had a lot of negative interactions and stuff like that. And I asked him to come to LVO so I could show him like what a good time is. And he came, and it reinvigorated him to play more Kill Team. I think saving somebody who's just about to leave Kill Team is like really big and important, And then finally, my last one.
By the way, he brought his dad too, right?
Yeah, dude, his dad is a Giga Chad. His dad won the
best overall, right?
He won triple threat, so he won best painted, placement, and painting award.
Yeah, those two guys are amazing. I'm trying to rope that guy into wearing purple, so we'll see if I can. If you hear this, Mike, you're going to wear purple. Stop avoiding it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, all right. Proceed.
And then my last one is going to this Dallas tournament and speaking with Zach and Mike Brandt and having them know who I was. I felt like the people in the Furiosa movies, the War Boys, spraying silver into my mouth and screaming "Witness me" silently. It was pretty cool. And then getting the 3 golden tickets. And it just shows. And last year we had 0. We gave out. So I know that it seems like we're giving out a lot of golden tickets, but really we're giving only 3 away at the All Valley, and we haven't gotten any additional for our outside of FLG tournaments, right? All of our other tournaments, our other 3 tournaments, are affiliated with Frontline Gaming, and most of them already have it.
Not the BAO one, right?
Well, we were still affiliated with Frontline Gaming, but yes.
Were you? I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty. Last year we got 0 golden tickets, and being able to get 3 to give out at our pinnacle event, our biggest event, is really special, So I'm just looking forward to having things grow. And if you're going to talk about podcasts, I have all other, favorite memories of that too. So especially our Shark Tank episode. So if anyone knows what our Shark Tank episode is, happened in November of last year. It was a glorious time.
How do I not know what that episode is?
Because you haven't listened to it, Jimmy.
God damn it.
It probably didn't interest you because the very beginning of the episode, we talk about like new players getting introduced to Kill Team for about 45 minutes. It was with Orion and Chris. And then we did a Shark Tank episode of Wrong Answers Only. And they both presented 5 teams that each one crafted. So they crafted a team that they were going to present to us, to me and G, and we had to pretend to be like if we would invest in that team or not. And they swapped teams. So Orion would give his first team to Chris, and Chris on the cuff had to be like, oh, this is an edible plastic kill team, this one, and go over it. And the other one was like, this is the Sharknado kill team. It was fucking amazing. So much improv in that episode. Is a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I need to listen to that. Normally I find out I don't listen to episodes when you tell me like, hey, Jimmy, just want to let you know, I talked a lot of shit about you on the last episode.
I do say that.
Yeah, a lot. And that's how you make me listen, is the amount of garbage you talk about me on a regular basis. Which, as your favorite, makes me feel sad. I don't know. So,
I'm a complicated man.
I know you are. It's okay. I'll listen to it. I'll listen to them all.
So, Jimmy, what's yours?
So, this may not surprise you, but it was the first All Valley. And I have many. I have a mountain of amazing experiences and memories, but that first All Valley was something really special. So I wasn't going to be able to go, and I found out last minute I could make it. And I reached out to my practice partner, Kellen. I think this was right around the time we started Kel Team as a thing. So I don't even know if we had official Kel Team at that moment. I think it was just like in the thoughts. It was me and Kellen and my 2 kids, and my last name is Kelly. So it was like, all right. Or it was Kelly. Now it's Jelly, I guess. But anyways, so I reached out to Kellen. I'm like, all right, let's go do this thing. Let's go have fun. But it's 3 people for a team. And I did my math pretty good. I counted twice. There was only 2 of us. So we had to pick up one of the free blades. And there was this guy who was newer in the Bats community in Chris Baki in the Bay Area, and he was not cool enough to be on the Bats team. So like he was left off on his own.
Miguel.
But Chris vouched for him. He's like, he's a cool guy, and he's an amazing artist. And plays Breachers, and his Breachers are super cool. So we picked him up. His name is Miguel, and Miguel is one of my favorite people in the community. He's amazing. So the three of us just had such an amazing experience at AVTT. Just getting to know each other, and like Kel and I knew, but like the three of us getting to play together, and we haven't chatted in a little bit. We have the three of us, me, Kellen, and Miguel, have a little group chat, and Miguel's really busy. He's on the East Coast now. He's in John Hopkins. He's an amazing, successful.
In a good way. He's not attending John Hopkins in a bad way.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, what's going on with Miguel?
No. He's not a patient. No, he's No, he's in the medical profession, and he's accomplishing incredible success and does amazing at whatever he takes on. Genuinely one of the nicest, best guys in the Kill Team community. And it was such a privilege just to get to know him, and not knowing, like you just pick up this random person you don't know, and you get to make this new friend that you get to go through the whole experience with. And it wasn't just meeting Miguel. It was that whole All Valley experience. And it's funny. There was so much drama. Like you kind of casually glanced over it. There was some of the most drama ever at that event, but it didn't matter because everyone had so much fun. And it was, I don't know. It was truly just a great experience, and it was one of my favorite of making Kill Team a fun group communal thing. That was really the start of where we started Kill Team as a group. That was the start of really experiencing it as a community, not just trying to win a competitive game, but meeting new players. And I loved it. It was probably like a big turning point for me. So that was my favorite experience.
Oh,
Amazing. Yeah.
It brought us all together.
It did.
Yeah.
So we have an hour here, G. Did you want to cut this episode here and start a new one?
Sure, we may as well have 3 episodes out of this whole thing.
So we can cut this one here, and then we'll do.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself.
We'll go on. Well, we can actually end it here. So before we go, so we're actually going to end the episode here, everyone. If you want to hear our thoughts on the FAQ and the Brood Guard, check in on Thursday, because we're going to have another episode come out Thursday, and then we'll talk about Hearthkin next Tuesday. So you're going to get a lot of squad games in your life this week. Sorry to tease you and say we're going to do it today. We are going to record it today. We're just not going to release it. We don't want a 3-hour podcast going out, right?
Yeah, that's a Squad Games promise.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like release any like teasers make you come back, but we may trash talk a key member of the Kill Team community in the next episode. I don't know.
Why you can talk shit to Dakotah right here, right now, dude.
Yeah. Oh no. And also Dakotah. So
we call it the Jimmy. Yeah. We call it the Jimmy special.
Yeah. They bring
3 Jimmy specials. Wow.
Just so you know, if you're wondering, why do they bring Kimmy Jelly on so often? I'm the heavy-handed bad guy. Dakotah's so nice. So they're like, hey, Jimmy, we need to talk trash about a whole other continent. Can you come on here? And yeah, I'll be the bad guy. I got it. I know my role. I got it.
What is it? The KT villain, right?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So if you want some good villain shit, next episode, there might be. I'm not saying there will be. I don't know. Maybe I'll chicken out and I won't say nothing. Who even knows? But maybe come back and see what happens. See what we drop. Who knows?
Absolutely. This is a great cliffhanger. Does anyone want to give out any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to all the community members for making this possible, and for all the other content creators out there who may or may not have been inspired by the things that everyone does, and helps keep the community alive. You know, that's how we made it to episode 100. Yeah, shout out to you guys. And of course, you can always join us on our Discord if you want. You should.
Mm-hmm. I want to give out a shout out to everyone who's ever been on the podcast. Thank you to everyone who's ever come on, but it helped us make content. I would also like to thank everyone who's participated in our group chats, who's helped out in our Patreon. this episode's more of a celebration of this of everyone in the community, kind of like where we've been. Please give us your favorite Squad Games memories in our podcast discussion in Discord. We would love to read them. Bring some positivity to everyone's lives for this next few days.
Do you think Alex will be able to write a poem about Squad Games experiences?
And now he will.
Yeah, I mean, he better. Like, I didn't know these guys were so amazing at their skills. So there better be.
I mean, if they can make ballads about Kimmy Jelly, I'm sure they can make
many ballads. So if you can do Kimmy Jelly ballads, we can do Squad Game ballads. I know. I believe in the community. It can happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, you got anything?
I mean, I just want to give a shout out to our more local players, or the players that live a little bit out and make drives in. And I just feel like I'm caught up in my feels with us approaching our 3rd anniversary game, and just how much we've really, like, how much everybody's made this possible for Squad Games. So thank you guys so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at our event in a couple weeks.
Do we just cut it off there?
Goodbye.
See ya. The Squad Games podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at lestersworkshop.com/squad-games.